Libra, we are all going through an upheaval right now. It's what's happening, and it's emotional, and it's beautiful. But we're all going through it. You are no different, but it will challenge you in the most intimate way. It will challenge you because it is putting into question a partnership that you have accepted as something that is a part of you, a partnership that you've accepted as who you are. You sort of identify yourself through it, or it's partnership itself. It's some sort of ideology that you've taken into yourself and you've decided. You've made a decision. A lot is coming up from under the surface that we've learned when we were kids. Shit that we didn't even know was a script that somebody else wrote that we were just reading. This is that time, that sort of realization when you realize, holy crap, I've been believing these things because I've been told to believe these things. And the truth is, it was always a choice. It was never something that I always had to believe. It was never an actual truth. It was just something that I was told to believe, and that I believe because everybody else believed it, or because it was put in front of me to believe. And this is what it had nothing, like it got nothing to do with reality. It's got nothing to do with truth. And even though that can be unnerving and disturbing, it's also liberating. There's this sense about you right now of being liberated from something that you have carried that was somebody else's it was inherited. It was an inherited belief. It was an inherited thought process. It was something that you accepted to be true because somebody told you that it was. And now there is a questioning of it, or it's been brought into question. And I can tell you right now, you've been feeling it. You've been feeling the sense of something isn't right. Something isn't correct. This isn't true. This isn't real. Or they, if it's a person in particular, because this is a general reading, so it could play out in many different ways for you guys. But ultimately, Libra, you can feel intuitively, and you're an extremely intuitive sign, right? You can intuitively feel something ain't right. It's not something or someone isn't what it seems. It's not what it's telling me that it is. And I can confirm right now that you are 100% correct about it. There is that sense of it is off, and you are absolutely right. And if you feel these things, you have to honor yourself and honor those feelings. Like don't, oh my God, don't push away those intuitions and say, no, I'm going to believe them over me. No, stop. Believe your intuitions. Believe what you're feeling underneath. I mean, don't jump to conclusions, but trust those intuitive understandings and those messages that you're getting. Something's off here, because something is absolutely off, and somebody is not being completely on the up and up with you. They're not being upfront with you. And that kind of like catalyzes a whole questioning of everything else that you've accepted to believe. It's like, listen, it doesn't even have to do with how much you may love or hate this person. You could very well love this person a great deal. Say it's your parent, right? Say it's your mom. You're going to love your fucking mother, right? But ultimately there is something here that you're like, they haven't been truthful with me. They haven't been honest with me. I know something is up. And the further you dig, and you should question, and you will investigate, and you will see, holy crap, they were not being sincere with me. And what that does is it sort of breaks the spell that was cast on you many, many years ago that said, this is what reality looks like. And you're like, no, it actually, because once that person, it's like, you watch all the magic movies, right? Look at any magic movie, Libra, a movie that has magic in it. As soon as the person who cast the spell is dead or broken, or they lose their power, the spell is broken, right? That's what happens, and that's what's going on with you. Not that anybody in your life is going to die, but that as soon as you realize this person was lying to you the whole time, everything that they've ever told you is now thrown into question. And that's a good thing, because it destabilizes you just enough to force you to start making your own decisions and drawing your own conclusions and writing your own script. And it's essentially what the universe wants you to do. It wants you to wake up and start writing your own script and go from your intuitions and your experience, take from your experiences and start doing you, like doing what actually matters to you, because you don't have the obligation to continue and to perpetuate somebody else's ideology, somebody else's way of thinking. What worked for somebody else does not have to work for you. And it really is just an ideology. It is not a truth. And this is what you're finally realizing and you're finally seeing, because guess what? This person is giving you reason. They're finally, like, their character cracked just enough for you to not be able to justify, like, making excuses for them anymore. And it does not mean that you hate them. It does not mean that you're leaving. It doesn't mean any of those things. What it means is, however, you are liberated from feeling from whatever sort of spell they cast on you. You're sort of liberated from it. And I don't think it's not necessarily a real spell. In most cases, it's not a real spell, right? This is more just something that they taught you or something that they told you. It's now you're realizing. It's like it's almost like they kind of like manipulated you into the situation to put the burden on you to be able to escape it themselves, or they didn't want to deal with something. They were not supportive. This card came out upside down. They were literally like tried to negate responsibility, tried to get out of responsibility, tried to like sort of like dodge it, right? And because of it, they left the burden on you. They're like, oh, it won't be so bad. Somebody will help them, or somebody will come along and help Libra out. That Libra will figure it out. They'll be okay. It's not that bad. It's not like I'm leaving them to drown or die, essentially. But this is it. This is that sense of being all kinds of tied up and tied down and needing help from people on the outside. And you're realizing that this was a burden that was created for you by somebody else. That this is trouble that somebody else actually helped you get into when you were too innocent to really know the difference. They let you down, is what I'm saying. It's like when you look at this card upright, somebody's being very supportive. It's like they're the wind beneath your wings. This is they took the fucking wind out of your sails. That's what it is. That's 100% what it is. So this person is definitely not done the right thing by you, and they were somebody close enough to you to be able to do a great deal of harm. This is 100% the foundation of this message, masquerade. You can tell somebody's being fake with you. Or you can tell this may not be a somebody. This may be just the ideology itself of recognizing it's not right. This isn't the truth. I've been just unconditionally accepting this person as the truth, and ultimately it is not the truth. It's like the spell has been broken, the mirage has been broken. It's like the mist has cleared. The fog has lifted. Suddenly you're seeing things for what they really are. And it's also speaking to trust your intuition, because there is something or somebody very deceptive in your inner circle that is now making you realize I'm gonna have to look into everything that they told me, and now I'm gonna have to look into all those things that I believe about myself, that I believe about my world. Like sometimes we like restrict ourselves. We don't even know that we're restricting ourselves because somebody else taught us, well, that's impossible. That's just something that happens to somebody else. It could never happen to you. But that's not true. You know, the people that have all those dream lives, they're just people. They're as human as you and me. So ultimately, anything is possible and everything is available for you, and you don't have to be squashed into or fit into somebody else's idea of what is perfect and what is right and what draws attention. You have a right to now define that on your own, and you are stepping out, and that's what you are doing. You're self-defining now. You're not requiring, or you're not perpetuating that image that somebody else told you was just the truth, was just the reality. You're absolutely not. And it is saying inquire, look, learn. With that Gemini full moon lunar eclipse that's happening as I record this video, there is that sense of a truth like being able to be exposed, a realization, a recognition. That tells me, actually, now that I'm talking, it almost tells me that for you've felt this for a while, and it's been held in for a while. You've been suspicious of this. You've been wanting to look into it. Do it. Look into it. Get your facts. Get your truth. Get rid of your chains, because really what we don't realize is our ideologies are chains. It's become a great burden to you to maintain this ideology. It's sort of become something that you've accepted as fact. It could be an actual religion. It could be that you're questioning your religious beliefs, you're questioning your spiritual beliefs, but it doesn't have to be that. You could just be questioning your beliefs, especially like Libra, right? There's a sense of somebody always telling you, you have to be beautiful. Beauty is the most important thing. You have to be and then you realizing, well, I like to be beautiful. I like to wear nice things, but no, that's not the most important thing. And holy shit, somebody who really loves me is going to love me when I take my makeup off and when I'm not dressed in my, $15,000 Gucci 3-piece suit. They're like, that's not where love comes from. And so it could have been an ideology that somebody played on you and taught you, like putting you into beauty pageants when you were a kid, or forcing you to be in sports when you were a kid, and like, this is how you find love, this is how you find approval. But that's not. It could introduce you to nice people, but that's not how you find love. It's not how you find approval. And it's like, that could become an ideology too. And that's what you're breaking through. You're releasing it and letting go. And what this beautiful, beautiful cards tells me is that once you face these fears, once you face whatever you're afraid of confronting, you'll realize it doesn't have that much power over you. It doesn't really impact your life that much. You'll realize in facing these fears, you realize how small and insignificant what you once thought something that was so big was. You'll realize that it's nothing. It's got one, as soon as you confront it, it's almost like that fucking lion becomes a kitten. That fucking shark becomes a guppy. That's exactly what these cards are saying. It's as soon as you confront it, it's almost like, I call it punching the shark, because I saw on one of these survival shows that, predators like a shark, if it's coming at you or attacking you, like punch it or attack back. I don't know if that really works, but the concept is confront that fear, punch the shark, punch it right in the nose. And once you do, you realize it's just a little fucking guppy. It really didn't have any might. It was all show. It was all glamour. It was all there to pretend and disguise and keep you locked in this mist so that somebody else could know exactly where you were, instead of you making decisions for your own fucking life. This tells me that it could very well, for some of you at least, be relationship issues, not really understanding or knowing or having a relationship, or somebody that you're in love with being thrown into question, not knowing where the relationship is going or just what their intentions are anymore. Not really coming to a crossroads, or realizing that maybe their feelings have changed or your feelings have changed, because with this realization, it's like the love doesn't hold up once the mist isn't there anymore. That kind of energy. And then, of course, getting away for a while, maybe going on a trip, getting out of the house. It could even just be a spiritual exploration, but ultimately it's an exploration, a travel, a literal journey, or a spiritual journey, like exploring other religions. Once you break that mist of that false ideology or that inherited ideology, now you're starting to explore different kinds of ideologies, or different kinds of things that you're capable of doing or engage in. And as you explore, you're sort of spiritually growing, and building your own construct that works for you. So it could very well be that, or it could actually be getting up, leaving, moving, or just going on a vacation, getting yourself away from the direct influence of somebody so that you can have that space to clear your head and sort of take time for yourself, which can be quite essential when something this big, when a change this big is actually happening. It could be very, very good for you to get away for a while. Let's go into your spirit messages. Libra. Spirit message. These are your spirit guide messages. So animal totems. Yeah, this is a breakthrough. These are major communications. Things are starting to add up. This is Gemini. So this is Gemini energy. So you could be getting communications or having a conversation with somebody that makes you realize something. This could actually be communications or conversations that you're having with multiple different people, but just like learning and gathering facts, educating yourself, putting things together, like receiving communications that teach you things. But essentially what this really boils down to in the most simple terms is putting two and two together. Like you're starting to let things add up, maybe things that you avoided letting them add up in the past. You're just starting to realize things that you haven't realized before. I don't know if you're dealing with a Gemini Libra, but ultimately there is a sense of moving on, moving forward, getting away from, deciding to break through or progress or make progress. So let's see what this is surrounded by so we can make more sense of it. Trust in divine detours. So this is unexpected. This is also Sagittarius energy. So for me, this is a timestamp that it's happening in Sagittarius season, that these changes or these switches or these big reveals are going to happen in Sagittarius season, and they're going to require you to basically improvise because you're not going to expect this coming. But it's also telling me you yourself are starting to steer in a different direction. Take chances or make communications, maybe reach out to somebody that you never thought that you would reach out to, or you never thought you'd have the courage to reach out to. But now suddenly it doesn't seem like it's going to take much courage because you're recognizing the humanity in them, and then it's not such a big deal anymore. You know, this is what it's saying. It's like it's not such a big deal anymore. They're not this ferocious thing. It's not this monster that's scaring you anymore. It's actually something that's not that big of a deal at all. Not that it's not a big, that it ceases being important to you, but it ceases to scare you. Like the fear isn't there, the intimidation isn't there, because the glamour around it isn't there, and you just see the truth of it. You just see the reality of it, which makes it a lot more approachable. And then we have time to collaborate. So you're basically calling somebody or working with somebody or forging new partnerships, working on building something or working on building a network. You're definitely communicating with somebody, working in tandem with somebody, in unison with somebody, but building. Building communications, maybe building a communications network, going overseas, speaking to different people, to foreigners, learning about different cultures. That could very well be too. Creating new partnerships, growing your network, expanding your network. All of this has something to do with what's going on in your life right now. Sometimes life stings. So this is Scorpionic energy. This moment in your life is not without pain. It's because why? Most likely because something was subverted, something was hidden from you. Very Plutonian energy, a hidden danger, a hidden truth that was revealed to you. So ultimately it is coming up to the surface, and it is not without pain. So it is going to sting a little bit. No, this is not going to fucking like end you. It's not at all. But it is going to cause you to be disappointed in somebody, to be upset by a situation. It is going to bug you or pester you. This could have to do with an illness or a sickness, not necessarily to you, but you know, we're going through a pandemic right now. So there is maybe sort of a catharsis or a new recognition about, you know, what's going on with world news, or what you were once told is now actually not true, and it's really pissing you off, and you're sort of seeing things from a different perspective based on the new insights that you've gained, and you're realizing, wow, I really had this wrong. It's almost like waking up like that. It's going to piss you off, and it's going to maybe hurt a little, especially if this is personal. But it's almost that gadfly energy where it's stinging you to inspire you to get going. It's like it's biting you in your ass to inspire you to change things and to get things going, get things moving for you. That's what's happening. Trust in the magic. This is coming out in reverse. So this is sort of telling me there's an ending to something, a finishing or a closure to something that once you had a lot of hope in. You thought it was beautiful and amazing and exciting, but now not anymore. It's lost. Not only has it lost its glamour, but it's lost its truth. And so this is like the sort of the bloom has fallen off the rose. That's what it's telling me. So it could very well be that a relationship is ending, or just the way that you see things. Like sort of the innocence has been lost, but at the same time, wisdom has been gained, which is much more valuable. Here we have sweet results await. So there is a lot of abundance and prosperity here, but it's got more to do with how you feel about yourself, how you look at yourself, how you believe in yourself. Because this is Leo energy, so it has to do with your heart, is like realizing that what your heart was telling you all along was true, and that, wow, I have my shit together a lot better than I thought I did, and I'm a lot more capable than I ever thought that I was. And yes, you absolutely are. This is you getting actually publicly recognized, I think, as well. So there is some sort of a breakthrough, and it could very well be once the bloom falls off the rose of somebody else, there is a public recognition that suddenly turns to you. Something is changing here. You're finally coming out of the dark, stepping out of your cocoon and opening and spreading your wings, Libra. And now is a lucky time. So there's a lot of fortune coming for you. This means double down, like doubling down on your fortune, doubling down on your luck. So multiplying what you already have. All of a sudden, it could be that you're breaking through, you're being discovered. Once that mist goes away, this sense of seeing true value. So either you're seeing the true value or somebody's seeing the true value of you finally, right? But ultimately, this is a big, major breakthrough in luck and abundance, and it's leading to prosperity. Not just prosperity of the emotional kind, but also prosperity of the financial kind. This is a breakthrough here. And this is definitely sort of the destruction of sort of a false prophet. That's what I want to say, because Aquarius energy is very much like that prophetic energy, that prophet energy, that changing the world. I just pulled my hair, inspiring it, like, but no, this is like that turned upside down. It's like, it's almost like the exposure of a false prophet. And it could very well be that I just saw 2222. Wow. It could very well be that you have some part in that. Especially, it may not be on a world stage, right? International, but it's in your world. Like the exposure of this falsehood and this bullshit that really changes and opens up. What it's saying to me is it not just opens up and liberates you, but it's almost going to open things up and liberate other people in your family, other people in your friend group, other people in your office. It's this exposure is actually going to help kind of liberate a lot more people than just you. So let's go into the angel messages. Let's see what the angels have to say. I absolutely love the voice of these cards. But before then, yes, there is always an extended video, and that link is in the description box below. Please click on it and you'll get a full tarot card spread and romance reading that extends and articulates the juicy details of this reading. And then, of course, please do click subscribe if you haven't already. Help the channel grow, and click that bell so that you get notified. I create a new Libra video every single Tuesday. So please do come back and watch those Libra videos, and you'll get notified if you ring that bell of all your favorite content. I also create Interact Live. I do a daily live reading on my Instagram feed. So I'm welcoming you to come join me on Instagram. That's Born_without_boundaries over on Instagram, Monday through Friday. You can join in the live readings there. And then, of course, there's the Vimeo page, which that link will take you to, filled with extended videos. There's so many topics and so much content over there for you to browse through. And you can subscribe directly to Vimeo so that you will get access the day before to all the extended readings, which can be standalone as well. So let's get into your angel messages. Oh, whoa, courage. Okay, shit. You have what it takes. We, your angels. Oh my God. I'm a Libra rising, so it's almost like I know exactly what this is speaking to. For me, I don't know what it is for you. Leave the comments below. You have what it takes. Just do it. We, your angels, are here to support you. Wow. I'm going to leave that there because you know what that means for you. And then Archangel Uriel came out. A great spiritual transformation is currently occurring both in your life and in our world. This is the union of heaven and earth, spirit and matter, heart and mind unite in harmonious balance. So, as above, so below. Something is transforming. So, where once you were blocked, the doors are opening because people are starting to see things in a different way. And that's kind of what this is. It's like people are starting to see you in a different way. They're not so, oh, whoa. It could not just be your ideology is changing at the same time everybody else's is. So you're ready to step out at the exact time people are ready to see you. You understand? So it's like, maybe they've ignored you and looked you past you time and time again. They're not going to do it this time. You're going to finally stand out because they're looking for something different now. The ideologies, everything's clicking into place at just the right moment. You're ready when they're ready to see you. It's like, I will see you now. They're going to see you. Imagine. Clearly visualize the life you want. Feel it in your heart and soul. And so it will come to be. Okay? And now you have your answer. Because I think you've been visualizing something for a long time. Or at least now, what I say, you're creating your own world. You're not basing it on what bullshit somebody else told you. Your internal life, your internal ideals are what's actually coming out and becoming your reality. Positive outcome. The sun is about to burst through the clouds, and you will soon see things in a different light. Something that previously seemed hopeless will soon be filled with nothing but hope. Whoa. So understand something, Libra. It's not just about you changing. It's about what's around you changing. Because you can change, and that's awesome. But people have to also appreciate you. That's happening too. Adventure. Instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore all the possibilities. There are many more than you currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all the colors in between. So keep your mind open and keep this person not just black and white and two-dimensional, but keep this opportunity as they're just a person, right? It's not a shark. It's just a person, right? And just go at it like that. There's so much more details. Let's click the link below. I will see you guys in the extended.